Tonight, the ABC 15 investigators are revealing every Arizona police officer tracked by prosecutors for things like lying, committing crimes, or having integrity concerns. They are officers on what's called BRADY lists. And here's why they're important. Back in 1963, in a landmark case, Brady versus Maryland, the Supreme Court ruled police and prosecutors can't hide negative information in criminal cases, especially past dishonesty by officers. That's why county attorneys keep lists of problematic cops. And now, for the first time ever, ABC 15 investigator Dave Biskobing is here to tell us about how he got the name of every officer who is on that list in this state.
Yeah, Katie, we've spent a year obtaining records from every county attorney's office to compile an unprecedented, searchable public database of these officers. You're about to see how many they are, who they work for, and why you have a right to know who they are. These are Arizona police officers caught for things like lying, planting drugs, framing people. And now, for the first time, ABC 15 knows how many are on Brady lists across the state. More than 1,400. What's your reaction to that number?
1,400 is a large number, but honestly, I am sure that it undercounts the number of officers who have engaged in some kind of misconduct who probably should be on that list.
So we should see even more.
I would think so.
Jared Keenan, a former public defender, is now with the ACLU and president of the Arizona Attorneys for Criminal Justice. If we're talking about 1,400 law enforcement officials, I mean, I just wonder how many cases they've touched that might have questions. I mean, you just do the math, right?
Right.
Hundreds of thousands of cases? I mean,
potentially more.
Here's an overview of what we found. First, for context, there are roughly 15,000 police officers in Arizona at any time. And again, there are 1,400 names on the state's Brady lists. And of those 1,400, they show at least 220 are active, still on the job. Phoenix PD with the most on the list, 390, and the most active, 106. Something to keep in mind here. The earliest Arizona counties began keeping Brady lists was in the late 90s. Now, we don't have dates for about 400 cases, but for the cases we do have dates for, they show the majority have been since 2010. And here's just a sample of the officers I've personally reported on.
We're digging deeper into a Phoenix officer's past after he shot and killed a man.
Before Richard Chrisman was convicted for the shooting, he landed on the Brady list years before when video caught him planting drugs on a woman.
FBI agent from Phoenix arrested for having an affair with the wife of a man he was investigating.
This man spent 8 years in prison.
It was a frame-up.
He was freed after witness tampering from FBI agent Joe Gordwin. This Pinal Sheriff's deputy assaulted a man outside a bar, ran away, lied about it. Then he bounced around to multiple departments, racking up discipline, an excessive force lawsuit, and a questionable shooting last year. He's on Pinal's list, but not on Gila County's, where he worked for years. Should these names be kept secret?
These names should not be kept secret at all. In fact, county attorneys' offices should probably be posting them publicly themselves.
This year, police unions proposed a law to hide Brady officers' names and also give officers an appeal process. It's House Bill 2114. But for this story, leaders from multiple Arizona police unions did not respond to ABC 15's multiple requests for comment. How powerful is a police officer's word in making an arrest or a conviction?
A police officer's word is incredibly powerful to get a conviction. In some cases, it's the only evidence that a prosecutor has in a case, right? This is particularly true in drug cases. As a side note, drug cases make up the vast majority of charges in Maricopa County.
Right now, we're investigating cases involving this former Phoenix officer who got caught lying about probable cause. In one drug case, his testimony the only evidence against this woman, who spent 20 months in prison before his lying was exposed and she was finally released.
Oh, I love you guys.
For good cops, their job is harder when the public doesn't trust them. When you have an officer who's willing to lie to get a conviction, the entire system breaks down.
Now, Dave, I have to imagine releasing the names is just the beginning of your investigation.
Well, let's just say the way the Brady lists are kept, shared, tracked, It's not perfect, and there's no outside oversight. So in the coming weeks and months, we'll be working to expose loopholes in the system, extreme and disturbing failures by police and prosecutors, troubled officers who've bounced around the state without being tracked, but also police who have been added to the list for unproven reasons,
or even as retaliation by their departments.
All right, thank you, Dave. Our exclusive, unprecedented statewide database is online right now on abc15.com/Brady list. And if you have a story to tell about one of these officers, let us know. Contact information is right there on the page.